What childhood lie did they force down your throat until it almost killed you? I used to be that skinny kid who'd get full halfway through dinner and always left something on his plate. My mom would glare like I just insulted her personally, then launch into that speech about starving kids who would kill for my leftovers. My dad would just sit there at first, staring until I pushed my plate away, and then it was like flipping a switch. One night, he grabbed the ceramic plate and slammed it down in front of me so hard it cracked. Another night, he scooped mashed potatoes in his hand and shoved them into my mouth like I was some trash can. I gagged. I cried. My mom rolled her eyes and said I was being dramatic and should be grateful. That was their idea of discipline and love. At first I fought it, but it always ended the same, so I stopped. I ate everything they gave me, even when it hurt, and threw up afterward, and they made me eat again. I ballooned. By middle school, I was twice the size of my classmates. People made fun of the way I walked, the way I breathed, and how my shirt never fit right. I got used to laughing with them before running to the bathroom to hide. At 14, I was diagnosed with GERD. The doctor said I needed smaller meals and less pressure. My parents laughed the whole ride home. My mom said the doctor was soft, and my dad told me to jog it off. When I told them it hurt to eat that much, my dad blocked the kitchen door, dumped a full plate on the counter, and said I wasn't leaving until it was empty. I begged. He pulled me to the stool. I cried before the first bite. My mom just turned her back. I ate until I threw up on the floor, and my dad walked away like he didn't hear. My mom handed me paper towels. That night I couldn't even cry. I cleaned up the mess and stared at the sink for what felt like hours. A year later, my dad died from congestive heart failure. His heart gave out the same way mine felt like it would every time he yelled. I watched my mom cry at the funeral, but nothing changed. She kept piling food on my plate and said she was worried I was losing too much too fast when I tried cutting back. I finally snapped. I said no, loud and firm. She screamed at me and said I was just like my father, ungrateful, soft, and selfish. I ignored her and just went for a walk that night. I made it 3 blocks before my lungs started to burn. Some guy jogging past me and gave me a nod like I belonged there. The next day, I went again. I kept going. Every step hurt, but it felt like taking pieces of my life back. I started going to the gym and cried in the locker room the first time I benched the bar without help. My mom kept calling me dramatic. She left messages like, "You'll just get fat again, and you're wasting food." But I didn't stop. I cooked my own food. I threw out what I didn't want. I stopped asking if it was okay. Months later, my mom launched into one of her rants, saying I was too thin and looked sick, and called it a phase. I looked her in the eyes and I said, "I used to cry myself to sleep from the pain of eating too much. I used to wish I disappeared just so you'd stop stuffing me like I wasn't a person. Dad died because he couldn't stop, and I wish that had been enough for you to want something different, but you don't, and I do." She stood there shaking. She told me I was disgusting for turning on my own family. I just walked out. She slammed the door so hard the glass rattled. It's been 5 years, and I have not been back. I still wake up some nights thinking I smell the food from those dinners, that thick fog of grease and guilt. But then I get up and go for a jog. I still get tired, but I'm not a garbage bin anymore. I'm not a plate to be scraped clean. I'm a person, and finally I get to decide when I am full.